Well, hi. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing here alone. I assume my V's gonna get here as soon as she can. But, oh, what? Call switch to another device. What's going on? Oh, no. There you are.
It took your join away, and then your join took my join away. And I had to join again separate.
It's like, what's going on? It said, do you want a device switch? I was like, no, don't do that.
Come here, Mare. Oh, that's okay. You got this. Come on, little potate. Oh, sorry, my child wouldn't leave me alone. I was like, I'll go. Oh, Mare. What a beautiful boy. Okay. Now lay down and get comfy. Thank you.
Okay. Oh.
This whole game will be a break for me, practically. How minimal it is.
And for me too. Not having audio, but it's like, what is this? New game,
break.
who dis?
A vacation.
Oh, no, not manage. Manage recording.
Hoot, hoot.
And recording there. Oh, I do still need to pull up Sam. There we go. Sam.
Is the stream happening? Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I saw the email.
I went live right at 7:30. I was scrolling through and trying to find a really, really old post in Discord, but I don't remember what exactly I said in it. But, yeah, I was trying to find it, and then I realized, oh my god, it's 7:30. What's going on? Let's go live, and then just wait for you to get here. Oh. Yeah, I guess we don't, are we actually just ready to get into it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. We're recording. Script is up. Things are good. This week has been weird, but let's do it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. Keyword on all. I'm Genesis, the girl who has returned to her MMO roots and started playing Fallout 76.
Oh, I've never played that one. I'm Vervada, the girl who loaded up my most recent Fallout 4 save and been doing that. So I guess we're both in the Wasteland. Although you're in a lot more recent of a Wasteland, or the original one, because it's 25 years after the bombs in that game.
Yeah, it's not that long after. I mean, and I'm having a lot of fun with it though. The MMO style of gaming is just so chill and laid back in comparison to the heavy ass RPGs that I've been playing for a while now. Even beyond Baldur's Gate, it was before that was, Cyberpunk and Horizon and Witcher and just all these really story heavy ones that running around just questing is oh yeah, I like this style of gaming.
Yeah. I'm getting sidetracked by everything. I love it. I spent like probably 10 hours building up my Vault 88 recently. Because it's like the DLC where you can actually build a vault, and it's so fun.
Yeah. You can build your own campsite in Fallout 76. So I've been building that up. All right. Well, we are not talking Fallout tonight, but as usual, if you're new here, welcome to the Beautiful Chaos. And you should know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of fucking.
There's no fucking in this episode, though, just by the way. Like we'll get to that disclaimer in a minute. We also love to talk about the deep emotional connections built between two or more characters, also not really in this game, using specific in-game dialogue, which is not in this game either. So this doesn't really apply to our current episode, but our normal episodes, yes. But still, we're going to do spoilers. So if you want to stay spoiler free, then this is definitely not the podcast for you.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, N7. And just like with all of our previous episodes, we'll assume that you have some background knowledge of the game and character in question, but we will be providing context for those of you who may be unfamiliar.
Sidebar, did you see what Daddy Bat Knight said about the title?
Yeah, I must have not hit done. That's my bad. I totally updated it. I even shows that we're playing Persona tonight, but no. Well, there we go. If you refresh, the title should be updated now.
Woohoo. Okay, so today we're talking about a game that came out in 2008 originally, back when V was still a high schooler. But they did release a special golden edition that we based our research on, but we both have not played this game. I don't know how I haven't played this game. This game is quirky and interesting. It seemed like something I could get into, especially back in 2008. You get to, you might take your history exam in the morning, flirt with your girlfriend or girlfriend hopeful during lunch, and fight shadow monsters inside your TV after dinner. The player character is a silent protagonist that you get to name, a high school student who has recently moved to the rural town of Inaba to live with his uncle, who is a police detective. A murder mystery ensues, with a local TV announcer found dead and rumors of a dangerous channel on TV appearing. They say if you stare into your reflection on a blank TV screen at midnight when it's raining, you can watch the Midnight Channel. Interesting. Dark and light versions of the townspeople roam the twisted version of Inaba in the Midnight Channel, and it's up to you and your high school friends to defeat the shadowy monsters, solve the mystery, and maybe find some love along the way. This episode is about two of the romance options, Yumi Ozama and Ayane Matsunaga from Persona 4.
We're going to start with Yumi, but first let's get a disclaimer out of the way. Persona 4 is a monster hunting, dungeon crawling game, but also a high school simulator. These characters are actual children, so we are obviously shifting how we discuss the romance in this game. To be clear, there are no sex scenes, and we are going to analyze the characters as usual. But as for the romance, that part will be restricted to high school appropriate things. We have 2 years of sexy sex episodes. Go re-listen to those if you're looking for some action. But this time around, we get to really focus on the relationship aspect of characters and how they truly interact. Now, speaking of high school, you have class to attend. This game goes by the actual calendar, and you all are students, and you have a packed schedule. So, in order to even talk with Yumi in hopes of romancing her and increasing her social link with her, you need to check your schedule. We're not really going to discuss the game mechanics, such as how the social link works, or like how the ranking system works and all those things, solving the mystery, or even the greater plot points. Instead, we're focusing on the characters themselves.
Yeah. Um, this game is a lot if you didn't play it. It took me a minute to get my head wrapped around it, and I'm still not entirely sure if I do have it wrapped around, but I think I understand Yumi and Ayane okay. So, like Dragon Age Inquisition, the Persona series uses tarot cards to convey character traits to the player for each companion and romance companion. Yumi's tarot card, like Ayane, is the Sun Arcana. In tarot, the sun represents life, birth, vitality, and power. When the card is upright, it's positive, indicating success, life, and optimism. When it's reversed, it indicates pessimism, depression, or foolish optimism. Both Yumi and I are sunny when you first meet them in person 4. Yumi and Ayane are also mutually exclusive. If you join the drama club, you will establish the sun social link with Yumi. And if you join the school band, you will establish the link with Ayane.
I will continue in a minute. Sorry. Okay. Then it went to at break. I kind of wanted to comment on the statement of like, oh yeah, because there's no way that high school students are having sex. Ha ha ha. I was like, yeah, but when you're 16 and experimenting with other 16-year-olds, that's one thing. But me as a grown-ass woman shouldn't be dissecting or analyzing the sexual compatibility of two high school students. Because I did that with Fallout 4. And so I was like, what are ways for me to bring the sex aspect into this game? And it doesn't fit. So I'm not going to.
Yeah. It does. I mean, the character is like your persona, for lack of a better term, in the game, like your avatar too. So there's not even a point in analyzing the relationship between the two of them, just like any RPG. We're just talking about the character you could choose. And we'll touch on how the relationship could affect that character. But I mean, we're not really talking about the dynamics of their relationship physically, obviously, or anything like that. There's nothing to discuss, first of all. Thankfully, this game stayed away from that. But also, they're children. They're all children in this game, 15 or 16-year-olds.
Yeah. All right. Now, Yumi is a talented, if somewhat demanding member of the drama club. On the surface, she's confident, daring other drama club members to top her for performances during practice. But she is covering a deep pain. While grief is present in many lives in Persona 4, we see Yumi actively going through it. Her father had left her mother for another woman, and then he came back, terminally ill and begging for forgiveness. Yumi's mother is working extremely hard to support the family on her own, and Yumi pours her frustration, sadness, anger, and confusion into her performances in the school play. Eventually, though, Yumi starts to drift from the drama club as the strains of her personal life bleed into her school life.
There are many dialogues with Yumi But there's no romance-specific dialogue with her until you max out her social link to rank 10. All of them are maxed out at rank 10. And even then, it's like one additional line of dialogue. There are some moments of like freeness, but nothing like intense. It's high school. So there are also non-ranking dialogue scenes for the companions, which mean like they don't give you rank towards powering up your social link. From what I understand, feel free to write in and tell us how this game works mechanics wise. um, but if you haven't already noticed, we don't have audio clips for Persona 4 because much of the content of scenes, like dialogue scenes, are just the written word. They do have voiced lines sometimes. The characters do. Not all of them have the same amount of voiced lines. Um, and mostly they just have what you would call like barks, which is they say like, hey, or uh-huh, as you're reading the line that was written for them as dialogue, or as you walk by them, you hear those things, but they're not actually fully voiced. So it's not very conducive for a podcast. Jen drew the lucky straw this week and for the next couple weeks as we talk Persona 4. As for Yumi, she only has one non-ranking dialogue scene where you can sneak out the night of May 20th specifically. If you didn't join the drama club and meet her before then, you're shit out of luck. You don't get that scene.
And it was an unlucky short straw, by the way. I actually kind of love audio clipping and listening to the voice actors bring the lines to life. I will always prefer a game with voice acting over just text on the screen. But that's just me and personal preference because I tend to hit the skip button if I'm reading too much. Now, throughout Yumi's story, the protagonist, you, that's why you, the default name of the PC is you, which is just funny to me. I don't know why it cracks me up when I read you. Yeah, you. You will visit the hospital where Yumi's dad is admitted. Between seeing the vulnerability of a young girl grappling with the imminent death of her father, the betrayal her father committed on her and her mother, and just being a teenager in general, it kind of feels like the last thing Yumi needs right now is a boyfriend with shadow fighting powers. But most of her social link story is strictly friendship, and you can help her sort through her tangle of emotions regarding her father and why she loves the theater. During a hospital scene, Yumi's father passes away, with his final words telling her that he named her Yumi because it means bear fruit, as in she would be her parents' fruit, their pride and joy. This leaves Yumi even more conflicted on her feelings regarding her father, and she has so much fresh anger at his choices, but also a deep love for him as her father.
So this obviously is so complicated, and it causes her to lose interest in the play and the drama club overall. Her story link or story arc is really a journey of self-discovery, learning what her true feelings really are. There is some self-centered behavior during the story around when her father passes away, too. She seems much more concerned with how other people think about her and how everything sucks for her right now, rather than being upset about her father's death. But I think that really tracks for a teenager, honestly. We're all quite self-obsessed as youth and learn to focus more on others as we age. But also, in her defense, she has a lot of justifiable anger towards her father. It's traumatic for a parent to leave you, to live with a single parent, and then for a parental death. I think this story was actually handled pretty well. in especially 2008 times, you know?
Yeah. Yumi realizes that she really only enjoyed acting because it was a way for her to mask her true feelings, to ignore her emotions and not process them. It was an escape. Now, escapes are incredibly important, but it should not be the end goal. Hashtag therapy. Escapes are meant to be temporary, and eventually you need to deal with your shit. Yumi starts off wholeheartedly throwing herself into theater and acting, seemingly confident, vain, poised, and almost too friendly. But by the end of her social link, Yumi has moderated her ego, learned what it is she really wants, and has embraced her true self. It's a nice amount of growth for anyone, let alone a high school girl. Kind of like it. I love the fact that you get to see so much growth within this character. They're thrust into trauma. I mean, the death of a parent, and then her mom gets really sick too from being overworked and overstressed and just everything going on. It really, I can see why a lot of people like this one because you can relate to it on so many different levels.
Yeah, from what I was able to see, so I guess my first disclaimer is I am learning about these characters as I'm researching them for our scripts for the episodes that we're doing on them. So right now, I really only know about Yumi and Ayane, and I know from my research that both of them are not the most popular romance options for this game, Ayane especially. But Yumi seems to be generally liked. Um, but like I I think if I were to choose, if I were playing this game, I think I would have chosen Drama Club, knowing what I know now, and probably knowing anything and just playing it just based off of Ayane's personality, which we'll get to after the vid break. But yeah, I also want to say as a disclaimer for all of the episodes we're going to do on Persona 4, they're all kids. So for me, at least from what I've seen so far, I think it's a really good um, representation of the average high school relationship. I guess from my experience of high school, which I was going to high school during this time that the game came out. And, it's just, especially because considering this is Japan, it's like a Japanese game company, Atlas, making this game about a Japanese high school. And so it's almost like a little peek into what Japanese high school is like, which is very different from American high school where I went. But we have a lot of similarities too. Like, I would say most relationships are kind of cutesy like that. Like, I personally didn't know a lot of people who were like having sex or like really intense, more adult types of relationships. They were more like this, where it's you're first developing feelings for people to begin with. So I just think it's a really cute thing to have in a game about high school students. Me as a 32-year-old lady, I don't think I would romance anyone playing this game because I can't get into that mindset of an RPG, like needing to find something attractive about my romance option. I think I would just be friends with everyone. I would be platonic because I'm not a kid. If I were playing this as a 16-year-old, that would have been a completely different story. And I can see why this game is so beloved and people have a lot of nostalgia for these characters because they probably were the same age as them when they first played it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I think I need, like you said, you haven't played these games, I haven't played these games, and we've just started scratching the first few levels of research into these. I need to see more of how an actual romance of it plays out. Like if there is one that truly is a good for me in my high school relationships where, walking to class, holding hands with somebody, things like that. If I can see stuff like that, that reminds me of the relationships that I had back in high school, then I would probably gravitate more from that because, yeah, if I'm playing as a high school student in the game, then I can put myself in that mindset where, it's like I'm aware that, yes, me holding the controller is a 38-year-old woman, but I've also never been a 27-year-old male space commander, and I can put myself in him. I can put myself in that mindset pretty easily. So, I think switching to a game where the character is just younger would also work.
That's probably true. I don't know. Maybe I think of my character more as me than I don't role play as much, but I want to also say that this game, you are a boy high schooler, and the only options are straight girl romances. So you can only have a girlfriend, which, that might automatically lock out some people from wanting to pursue a romance. So there's no, like I said, 2008, that would have been like in advance of when this became more commonplace to have different relationship options and different sexualities represented. So you can only be a straight boy in this game.
I've never dated a straight woman before. Maybe I can try that then.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, you can put yourself in him.
I know.
Everyone's making fun of you for that.
I'm aware. I am fully aware.
I'll say it for Daddy Bat Night.
Phrasing. Yes.
Oh, well, do you have any more final thoughts on Yumi?
No.
Okay. She's cute. She's good. I like them all better so far as platonic friendships, but that's just me right now. We'll see how I feel at the end of Persona. But before we talk about the other Sun Arcana character, Ayane, we need to take our mid-break. So let's listen to the sponsors of the show, hear some fun facts, and thank our lovely, lovely patrons.
Mid-break dance. Y for Yumi, or A for Ayane, or P for Persona. I didn't think about mid-break dances. Oh no. Because we've done a lot of P dances before. A lot of potty dances. Why? I have no idea a Y dance. Yasification. What A dances are there?
I have a Wikipedia page up. We've got a bunch that I don't recognize the words because they are not in English. I unfortunately don't speak a lot of these languages. So I can't help you with A, other than apparently Arab dance is just its own thing, according to Wikipedia. So there's Nay. Y. Ooh, there's another bunch of words I don't recognize. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're kind of SOL on this one. Wait, Yumi, Ayane, and P for Persona.
Okay, you know what we can do? Since we're in high school, we're going to go high school prom dancing, P for prom dancing, where there's enough space. Leave enough space between your hips for Jesus. That's what we were told. Perfect. We were also told that, I remember my freshman year, I went to my boyfriend's prom. He was a senior, and they kept putting balloons in between couples, so that way, like actual like blown up balloons, so that way your hips weren't touching while you were dancing.
Wow, our high school did not care about that at all. We had like a rave practically, but
it devolved.
With my friend who was, I went with my friend who is gay, and his parents at the time did not know, but he promptly ditched me to go dance with the boys when we got to prom. So I was by myself.
I went to 3 proms. My freshman year, I went with my senior boyfriend. My sophomore year, I didn't go. My junior year, I went with I did go. I went with a gay guy because my boyfriend was not allowed. And then senior year, I brought my ROTC boyfriend, Steve, with me, and he was all.
How'd you go to so many proms? I only went to one. We had like actually we didn't do homecoming, but we had like a winter formal that I went to, but I didn't have a date. I didn't date until I was in the military. So not that I wasn't allowed. I didn't like boys. So I didn't date anybody.
Well, we had a junior prom and a senior prom. So I went to both my junior prom and my senior prom, but my boyfriend, my freshman year, was a senior. So I was his date. I went to his prom. And then my best friend is a year younger than me, and she didn't have a date to prom. So I went to her senior prom.
Cute.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was a lot of prom talk. We are so in high school right now. Oh, I'll probably surface some long hidden and suppressed memories. Yay. All right, time for some fun facts. Yumi is voiced by Melissa Fawn, and she has done a ton of voice work throughout her career. She was Gaz in Invader Zim. Are you fucking kidding me? Also, Ed in Cowboy Bebop, which, yes, I'm sorry, I still haven't watched. I'm aware. The narrator from Digimon, and literally so many things stretching back to when she first started as a kid back in the 70s.
I love Gaz. First of all, Invader Zim is the best, and Gaz was my favorite because she was a gamer girl, and I am as well. So, also, I just longed to be as badass, sarcastic, and bitchy as her because I am the opposite of that. So I loved Gaz. But yeah. And like we said, they have voice lines, just nothing that would have really worked for our podcast. So we didn't get any. But Ayane is voiced by Michelle Ann Dunphy, according to IMDb, in the Persona 4 Golden Edition. And she was also the voice of June Suzuki in K-On! Sorry if I'm messing that up. I have not seen that. She's done other voice work, but nothing that I personally recognized. And I'm also not sure if Ayane was voiced at all in the original edition of Persona 4 because it just said Persona 4 Golden Edition. So apologies. This is like a fact in quotes because I did my best based off her IMDb.
In quotes. Love that. Now you can date multiple girls in this game. And there aren't many consequences beyond some, justifiably so, passive-aggressive comments on Valentine's Day. Originally, though, the developer had planned to have game mechanic consequences to being a womanizing douchebag, such as taking away social link bonuses or perhaps even reversing them. As the resident polywomanizer, I appreciate the fact that I don't have negative effects to multiple romances, but that's also just me. Spotify, we are at 185. Thank you so much to all of you for giving us those ratings. I appreciate the comments that you leave. I appreciate beyond all hell the ratings that you leave on iTunes and the reviews that you leave as well. Oh, it really, really does help keep us going. Putting out episodes every week and seeing how much people truly do listen and appreciate our insanity. And of course, a special shout out to our patrons, Toasty and Apollo, Becky and Daddy Bat Night, Stone Miss Theos and Muffiny Cake, Winifred, Evie from HR, Lavelini, and Magister Davida. Big hearts, major loves, all the thank yous.
Yes, thank you so much, as usual, because we really do appreciate it. And I swear one day we'll have stickers, because that's what won on the poll on Patreon for what they would want first as merch. It's stickers. Also, I need to talk to you about that because my friend's an artist and she said she could do art for us. I know we also already have an artist that we know, but who knows? Maybe we can have all the art. Anyway, Jen, are you ready to move on from our theater girlfriend to our band geek girlfriend?
Normally you ask me if I'm ready to go to Pound Town right now.
Absolutely not. Not in this episode. Nothing in the game, thank goodness.
Oh. I don't know where that one came from. Who the fuck says Pound Town anymore? Like Yumi, Ayane is available as a companion early on in the game, but you have to join the school band in order to get her as your Sun Arcana social link. So, band or drama? On a first instinct guess, I probably would have gone drama just because I was in drama in high school. I didn't play in the band. That was my sister. Now, upon meeting Ayane, it's pretty clear that she is the doormat of the band. She is timid and shy, blushing and apologizing a lot, and seems to handle a lot of the menial tasks that the band requires, like paperwork and organizing performance venues. This doesn't leave her a lot of time to practice with her instrument. She dreams of becoming an accomplished musician, but she isn't that good at the trombone, the only instrument her family could afford to buy. She'd rather play the flute, but hasn't spoken up about it, and doesn't have the confidence to outshine the other trombone player in the band.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the other trombone player is like actually better than her because she can never practice. Also, unlike most of the other romance options, Ayane is a first year in high school, which would make her around 15. The other characters are about 16, but Ayane visibly looks so much younger. She gets upset if people think she's a middle schooler or even an elementary schooler, but honestly, she looks like a baby. I was gonna wait about this, but I really don't like that a character with this kind of design is romanceable. Like her romance could hardly be called a romance, which we'll talk about, but still, like the fact that you can even suggest I know she is like 15, but she doesn't look 15. Her character design is just so childlike. So I personally prefer the friendship option with Ayane. But the player character is 16 or so romance is fine. Like they are peers dating. So it is fine. It just I don't think I could get over the way she looks personally. One thing I do like is that both drama club and school band increase your expression skill, and both Yumi and Ayane learn how to express their true feelings throughout their social link stories. So it's a nice little connection there.
So Ayane is frustrated with how the band is run and how she can't play the flute and has to play the trombone, and just being talked over and bossed around in general. At one point, she seemingly gets her chance to shine when the other, better, trombone player was involved in an accident, and Ayane had the opportunity to practice the trombone solo in their place. Ayane struggled to practice for the solo, but you as the character can encourage her to keep trying and for her to believe in herself. You've got to do this a lot because her confidence is basically in the basement. And when the day of the performance finally arrives, Takeru, the other trombone player, is magically better and ready to do the trombone solo. Even if you suggest that she still does the solo because she's practiced, the rest of the band disagrees because Takeru is better than her. She agrees and gives up her spot.
After the rest of the band leaves, Ayane will admit to you privately that, of course, she didn't want to give up her spot, but she felt like she couldn't disappoint the rest of the band members. She was upset that her chance was taken away, but honestly, she's set the precedence of letting people walk all over her. I've been there, Ayane. I used to be you. I still am sometimes. It can be really, really hard to speak up for yourself when you've been conditioned to defer to others and their wants and needs, especially when you are still a child. After this conversation, Ayane will decide to become more selfish, which is how they phrase it, but it's somewhat of a shitty way of saying she'll put her own wants and needs before others. The key to this kind of thing is balance. You shouldn't always put yourself first, and you shouldn't always put others first. Like, also culturally, in America, we are an individualistic society, and Japan is a collectivist society. So, you got that going on for Ayane too. She's already culturally conditioned to be like this. So it's hard to break out of that mold. I think what Ayane meant when she said she'll be more selfish is simply that she will express herself when she wants something or speak up when she's not happy with what's going on. Like, just literally tell us what you need or want. I think that's a healthy thing to do in moderation.
Yes. And I totally agree that it's definitely like the American self-centerized, like, because I am always going, like, for me and the people that I love and adore, I will put their needs first. But generally, me in comparison to Joe Schmo walking down the street, hell yeah. In my world, I'm more important to me than some rando walking down the street. And I know that in this context, it's other students that are around her, so it's people that she interacts with on a regular basis. But even still, even in a school classroom setting, I was more of the type of person of, no, I'm going to make sure that I'm happy first. But Ayane is definitely not like that. And one of the big downsides to romancing Ayane is that her social link plays out exactly the same, whether you romance her or not, all the way up until the rank 8 conversation. There are only 10 ranks in a social link, so this is really late, much like Yumi. Her rank 9 romance dialogue is just her looking at the ground nervously and you awkwardly suggesting that you could go have fun, get some food, or go hang out at your house, which is really cute and sweet. I kind of like that for just like a high school first date. That's what it should be. 2 awkward kids figuring shit out. Let's go to the mall, grab a churro, and then go home and do homework.
Yeah, and if you're at home, you got to leave that door open.
Yes. Or stay in the kitchen. Public rooms only. Her rank 10 dialogue does not feature any dialogue options. So that is the extent of her romance content for the game, which I'm good with. Cute little date that happens off camera. If I'm putting myself in the mindset, I do not think that this would probably be a romance option for me, but definitely the friend link where I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna grow you a spine. That is what I'm here to do. I am so that prop you up friend. Like, if you need confidence, I'll give it to you. I will shower you in affection and just words of affirmation and whatever you need to instill that you are a badass.
I know that from experience. You're that person. You're the best.
Aw.
Yeah, and I would not romance Ayane either. And like what we were talking about with the societal bit, like that, if you guys are interested, this is a little bit of research that's cool. There's like this place called the Hofstede Institute, which I used a lot when I was getting my most recent business degree. Because it's really interesting to study how cultures interact. And like the Hofstede Institute has like, I think it's 6 or 8 fields, and one of them is like collectivist versus individualistic. And that's something also when I was learning Korean in the Navy, like Korea is also a cultural that a collectivist society. So we were always talking about that because in order to really learn a language, you have to understand the culture. And I, as someone also growing up watching anime, like I've seen so many characters like Ayane represented in anime, and also just Japanese games where they're just this such, I mean, they're not always girls or women, but I feel like most of the time they are. And it it feels cathartic, I think, to help Ayane grow a spine because like I said, I also was someone like that, very timid and not like apologizing a lot or just not saying what I wanted. I was never quite that bad, quote unquote bad, but still like I didn't have boundaries as a kid. I had to learn them, especially having a child that really helps you get a backbone, speaking up for what you need and what you want. But it feels good to help Ayane get that because I don't think you see that a lot with these types of characters who are very timid and shy and not confident and meek, and they get pushed around and walked all over, and that shit pisses me off now that I'm an adult, and I was like, I don't want anyone to be walked all over now because I know how that feels. So, yeah, I won't romance Ayane, but I will definitely be her friend.
And here we are. We have found our tally. That's very
Yeah.
much. Yep. That's what it
Tally's
was
the
for me.
youngest, I think, too.
Her and Kasumi are the youngest ones, but Kasumi has like insta trauma that makes her feel older than her actual age.
Yeah.
And then once Tally gets
She's
a little
got
bit
that, like, I was a street rat,
Mhm.
you know? Like, I know how to scuffle about her.
And the love of my life was tragically murdered, and and his memories are all stored in a box that I carry that I'm searching for. Yeah. So and then of course Tally does grow a spine, and I love her so much more once she's hit her, final form. And I think that I would like Ayane after she's kind of gained more confidence in herself. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I was able to tell, Ayane was like, if not the least popular, one of the least popular choices for this game. And I think mainly it had to do with her visible appearance. Because, like I said, it's extremely young looking, like uncomfy feeling to me, honestly. And the fact that her romance doesn't really trigger or happen till extremely late in her storyline or story link. So kind of like Yumi, I don't know why. I guess because Yumi flirts a little bit along the way, people like Yumi better. But yeah, I think between the two of them, they're still not the most popular choices. And I'm excited to see what like the popular ones are with the romances that start earlier on in the game. Like what because the fully fleshed out ones, as we like to say.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't the Helsons. These are the Helsons of this game, like the last minute ads, it feels like. Except they're not any way related to Helson in any other way. I just meant like story content.
Yeah. I understood what you meant there, but then I was also like, no, these are not my Halcyon, because no, they are not. It's all good. These romances are short. There's not much to talk about them here in the beginning, but once we move further into our Persona 4 season and get further into it, I know that we'll be able to pull more from the main plot line into our scripting, so that way we can kind of understand the game as a whole and not just the high school simulator aspect of it. But like we said at the beginning, neither of us have played this game. I think we're both kind of interested at this point in actually picking up and playing it. But now Day in chat is talking about how one of the games is fully voiced, and that might be a game that's a little bit more my speed, that I could fully invest my brain into a lot more, because I need that auditory stimulation in order for me to stay engaged in a game.
Yeah. I think from what I can tell so far, like I said, I haven't researched the other options pretty much at all yet. But from what I can see, the reason this game is so beloved is not the romances. I think it adds a little spice, a little bit more of a connection to the characters. But I think the rest of the game is the reason people love this game so much, because this game seems really awesome. It is what launched Atlas as a game developer really into the stratosphere and gave them a ton of success, Persona 4 specifically. So I'm excited to see where the rest of the options take us. And I have been told in chat to add, what was that called? Persona 3. I need to scroll back. Oh, Persona 3 Reload to our list of future games to cover. And that is the fully voiced one. So I'm adding that to the list after this. And we'll get to that someday because the rest of our year is scheduled out already.
Oh, it's so insane to think about. We are not even halfway through this year yet, and we already have the rest of this year planned and mapped out. And like halfway through 2025 mapped out, we at least know what games we're going to cover. So that's, yeah. Okay, well, if you like what you're hearing and want to continue on this wild and crazy journey with us, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes or a comment on Spotify. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find me on the Cyberpunk Lorecast with my co-host Toasty, where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. Check out Scyther Audio's newest fan-made production, The Avengers, the audio drama, where you can hear me and several of our podcasting friends. You can also reach out to me in our Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord. And come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com/2girls1ship. Our theme music was composed by the ever-talented Pipe Man Studios, and our artwork was designed by the esteemed Let's Not. Links are in the description.
I'm on the Robots Radio Discord as well, and at our own Two Girls One Ship Discord server, where we nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others. Be sure to check out our live streams on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on Mondays because you need at least one good thing on a Monday.
So thanks for listening, and remember,
beauty is in the eye of the controller.
Yay!
That was not even an hour. I figured it would be short.
Yeah, that was really short.
Really, really. It's going to be nice tomorrow when we're editing it.
Shit, I might be able to get this done tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
Either that or I'll do it tomorrow morning. I might play 76 tonight and then just edit in the morning. We'll see. We'll see
nice.
How I'm feeling. Oh, also, Day is one of the people that absolutely loves Persona and was like, please, I would love for you guys to analyze it. So I'm glad that we were doing this. Day's also super
they
cool.
were in the chat earlier, right?
Oh, yeah. So Day Zero in the Twitch chat is also the one who did the artwork for Cyberpunk. Have you seen mine and Toasty's Cyberpunk podcast logo?
Not in a while.
It
Hold on, let me go to Spotify.
I'll see if I can put it on screen really quick.
Oh, I see it.
Isn't that fucking cool, dude?
Damn.
Right? It's me and Toasty.
Wait, I need it bigger.
Okay, hold on. That's what she said.
Okay. I just realized I haven't rated you either. Oh. Sweet. Okay.
Let me see if I can just do this an easy way.
I love it.
Window, photo, that one. Why aren't? That didn't work. Nope. There we go. I'm trying to make browse. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's flipped backwards. That's not right. But
I love it.
where's the flippy button?
Grow out bleach dye job. Love it. That's so cool.
Oh, I don't know how to flip it. But yeah.
Maybe they could do our stickers.
Oh, maybe they can do our stickers.
I love it. It's perfect.
It is.
Perfectly encaptures the cyberpunk vibe.
Right? The color scheme. I freaking love Toasty's. Like, he's even got like the correct goatee and mustache going. My hair being pulled up into the back. And I've got a shotgun. Oh, and vampire fangs. They put little vampire fangs right above my boob because they knows me.
In not your defense, I guess. It doesn't take much to know you to know that.
Okay, valid. Okay. Go away there. Yeah, so Day's awesome.
I love it. Well, let's see. I was looking at I need to add the game, but next week I was going to see who next week is for Persona 4.
Oh,
It is loading. It is going to be, is it Marie and Chie?
Okay.
And then Yukiko, Naoto, and Ai and Rise. Hoping I'm saying this.
Are all of these characters
speak Korean? So
are all of these characters like one or the other? Like you have to either choose band
I'm not
or
sure.
I guess
I don't think so. No, I don't think they are all mutually exclusive. Maybe some more of them will be. I'm not sure though, because like I said, I haven't looked into them yet intensely for the scripts, but not so much. It's interesting though, because some of them are not, like one of them is like an idol who enrolled in first year. And I'm like, does that mean she's 15 or did she just randomly start school? Because like another one's like a detective who enrolls in the high school for the mystery. But I'm like, are you an adult or are you like a teen detective? Are you like Detective Conan style? Like, I don't understand what's going on. So I'm going to find out when we do the research. But
yeah. Day says that, yeah.
Because otherwise, how do you romance multiple people, like that many people, if there's so many mutually exclusive? I figured they weren't all mutually exclusive. But yeah. Well,
when I was watching that other video, because there was the soccer player and the basketball player, but those aren't romances. But you have to choose what team you want to go as your sports team to go play as. And then those ones are mutually exclusive also, of which social link you can build up further. So, but good to know. Okay, though. I think we will call. Actually, no, we're going to wait another 15 seconds. So that way my Twitch algorithm goes, yay, you were streaming for a full hour.
For an hour. Okay. I have a random thought I can share with you so we can waste the time. So one of my favorite mangas when I was a teenager, it's the only manga I own all copies of, like the whole series. It's 23, I think. It's in my bookcase. Anyway, it's called Hanakimi. I don't remember the full Japanese name. Hanakimi is the shortened name. So it's about like, have you ever seen She's the Man with Amanda Bynes? It's kind of like that, where a girl enrolls in an all-boys school posing as a boy because she wants to get close to this awesome high jumper. This is going off my memory. I haven't read this in forever. Anyway, so the two of them have like a romance kind of. But my question now as an adult is like, yes, she's actually a girl, but is the high jumper gay because he fell for her when he thought she was a boy? What are the ethics? I know this is too big of a question for like 30 seconds, but I was just thinking about that while I was zoning out a second ago, and I don't know. I have to reread it, I think.
Yeah. We are officially over an hour,
Okay.
and that's fine. But yeah, there's such a big moral quandary with that of masking your gender identity to become attractive to somebody or to get closer to them. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Well, she wasn't like romantic about him in the beginning. She was just like a super fan, which I don't even know how that's a premise to a story, honestly, but it was. So, at least from what I remember. My favorite character was the school doctor who was gay, and I loved him. So,
I don't think that I know for a fact I've never read a full manga series. I think I've picked up one of them. The only the only comic series that I have read from what's it fucking called? It's not an episode. It's not an edition. Like from number 1 all the way to the end. The full series is
there you go.
Angel After the Fall.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Also, there's a character in Hanakimi who can see ghosts, which I liked him too. Super random though. Everything else is like totally mundane.
Issue. Thank you. Comics are called issues.
Yeah, issue. I have issues.
I have issues, and it was also a really good Korn album.
Yes, I love Korn.
The
band.
I started watching Dead Boy Detective.
I love Cone. Have you seen that song?
I like turtles.
Okay,
Volume also works.
Vine, like Vine references, because we're old.
But the I Like Turtles things was actually a kid at the Portland Zoo, the Oregon Zoo, so it wasn't even a Vine thing. It was a newsreel here.
Yeah, so was the Korn kid. Like that, they turned his news interview into a song about corn and how like it was amazing. He had like a corn on the cob and was just going on about it, and it was so cute. And the song's pretty awesome. I'll find it and send it to you. I thought you had seen it.
Oh no. I think one of my favorites, though, still is Wouldn't You Like to Know, Weather Boy?
Was that also Portland? I've always wondered.
I don't think it was Portland, but it still cracks me up.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Classic.
All right. I think we shall end stream here. Good night. I love you all. Good night. Goodbye.
Yeah, you missed everything, Daddy Bat Night. Feel bad. Just kidding. Bye.